All right, so LeBron, well, not even LeBron, Rich Paul has made like a whiteboard list public of LeBron's realistic destinations for where he's going to retire, which is a pretty huge deal. Like, LeBron James is going to be like 42 by the end of this year, and this is most likely his last season. And so he's going to want to go to a team where he has a chance at winning a championship because that's all LeBron cares about. That's what really makes him happy as a person. That's what makes him feel fulfilled. Like, you can tell he wouldn't be playing, making $1 billion plus, playing 25, 26 seasons, right? Like, he wouldn't still be playing. He didn't love the game. You can tell LeBron is actually genuinely in love with the game, with winning, with being the best, and he wants to have one more shot at winning a ring because that would give him ring number six, matching Jordan. Right? It wouldn't match the win rate in the finals, but I think that more so is indicative of the quality of opponents that Jordan had versus the quality of opponents that LeBron has had throughout his entire tenure, which is almost 10 years longer than Jordan's at this point. Uh, so so the teams that are listed, first and foremost, we'll talk about the Cavaliers because that is an obvious one. He started his career in Ohio and Cleveland, and the team that he was drafted for, the area that he was born for, the first where he didn't win a chip at first, went to Miami, and then he went to Cleveland, won arguably the most difficult championship of all time, right? Most entertaining, like low key, high key. I feel like the NBA has gone a bit downhill since like 2016, 2019. To be honest, right? Like, I don't know, maybe it's just like it's like bias because like the 2016 is one of the most fun playoff runs of all time. 2019 is one of the most famous, one of the most exciting playoff runs of all time. But I feel like since then, I don't know. The most recent one with the Knicks has been pretty fun, right? But LeBron going to the Cavaliers, it would be a very full circle moment where the team that drafted him, the team where he was born, the city where he was born, where he came back and won a championship for, like he said he would, and he's won a championship for every single team he's played for. So going back to Cleveland, that would be like, and the fit is there too, right? So what you're looking at on the whiteboard, you see, so someone pointed out that like Rich Paul is pointing at the whiteboard, right? But I think it's just like him talking. It's not just like him being like, oh yeah, no, this is the team that we're going to go to. We're going to go to the Cavaliers because he is pointing at the Cavaliers. Uh, but I think it's just like him pointing as he talks. But it could be a sign, right? And they highlight four names for the starting lineup because that really is. It seems to be that's the main, not just the starting lineup, but also prominent players and pieces of the organization that influence winning, right? That influence LeBron and Rich Paul's decision on where he's going to go, right? So for the Cavs, they have Mitchell, Harden, Mobley, and Allen, right? So LeBron would fit in right at the three, right? Which in theory would be perfect, but LeBron at this point in his career really should be playing more of the four, right? You really don't want him a ton on the perimeter, right? Expending a ton of energy out there, right? It's just not his game at this point. He's still athletic. He can still drive, right? He can still shoot it. He can still do a lot of things. And when the playoffs come around, that's going to be the real thing. Because like during the regular season, he will be coasting, right? LeBron has been coasting in the regular season for years, at least a decade now, which is kind of crazy. Uh, but once the playoffs come around, he's a different player, and he can still turn on the juice. It's something mental. It's like a mental thing where it's like you can flip a switch, and it's like, all right, it's 16 games. Just gotta lock in for 16 games, right? But Harden, Mitchell, even Allen to an extent, Jared Allen, it was like Evan Mobley. He impressed me enough. Like people call him like 19-8 because like he doesn't improve, he kind of stagnates. Like he's a good player, right? I don't know if he'll be a number one option. I think he can. I think he still has the potential to be like one of those high level two-way players. But Harden is getting older. I honestly think that Harden is pretty close to retirement as well. Like Kyle Lowry is close to retirement, right? LeBron is close to retirement, right? James Harden is of that same era a little bit. Those players are a bit older, but he's still of that same era for the most part, right? And I think that Harden's pretty close to retirement, and we've seen that the Cavs really lack that dog in them. You know, LeBron in theory could just induce dog. He can induce dog into like any team, and he can carry a lot of teams, at least historically. But at age 42, right? At age 42, you probably don't want LeBron having to induce dog, and and when you're playing him with like, yeah, it'd be nice to have alternative like secondary and tertiary ball handlers when you're playing on a LeBron led team. And yeah, LeBron can be a fairly elite play finisher. His play finishing really is taking a step back because historically, look, even if LeBron wasn't the playmaker that he was, if he was just focusing on play finishing, he would be one of the best play finishers of all time, right? Like just he would still get his points, right? He still get his buckets, he still make plays, right? Even just as a play finisher, as he is now, where he's lost a good portion of his athleticism, he's still probably the funny thing. He's still more athletic than a lot of players in the league today, right? It's kind of crazy, right? But his legs, you don't want to see him do that for 82 games going into like a 16. Like the intention is the playoffs, right? So it's not 82 games. It's what is that? 98 games total, right? Not even 98, 99 games because of the playing games, right? If they're in the play-in, right? There may be 83 games. So I don't know how well he really fits. The Cavs are decently deep. They have shooters, which is important whenever you have a LeBron-led team, right? And LeBron could, in theory, like take on more of the ball handling, playmaking duties in the playoffs. But then where does that leave James Harden, right? Because James Harden, he's not an off-ball guy. He really does thrive having the ball in his hand. He can't hit a couple catch and shoots here and there, little spot-ups, right? But he's not moving off the ball, right? He's not coming off of pin downs. There's very little motion from James Harden. Mitchell, you really saw like a huge step back from Donovan Mitchell last playoffs, where historically he's one of the guys who is known as a playoff riser. He's known as one of the highest playoff risers, where in his, I was going to say in his rookie year, but not. Well, in his rookie year, he won a playoff series against OKC Thunder, who had an MVP candidate at the time, Paul George, right? And I think Russ was on the team at the time, but like Donovan Mitchell was known as a playoff riser, but he really did show that he doesn't have, for one, that playmaking ability, right? He can be a bit laissez-faire when it comes to attacking the rim consistently, but he really doesn't make the game easier for others. And so the idea, if he is playing with LeBron, is that LeBron is making things easier for Mitchell, right? But then I feel like James Harden does not fit with what you would want from a LeBron James teammate, right? But the other players like Max Strus, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, those guys do fit well around LeBron, but I don't know if that's the best fit. Next, right? LeBron, because like also LeBron is thinking he'd play for the minimum, right? He just plays like be on the team. Because like he's a billionaire, right? He's made more money than basically any other NBA player, as far as I know. I would assume, right? Maybe Steph Curry has made more. Maybe Kevin Durant has made more due to his like investment and stuff like that. But in terms of like basketball income, I would say LeBron probably, right? The Sixers, right? Another name on there is the Sixers, listing Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, and Embiid, right? So LeBron would be the four on that team. Honestly, like I do like the fit actually, thinking about it, right? It would be, it's like I'm a Raptors fan, I don't support the Philadelphia 76ers, right? Like not when, like only when Allen Iverson was there, but after that, I'm like, all right, this is a rival, this is our enemy, all right? But look, Joel Embiid his story is kind of sad, where it's like he has all this talent, right? Yeah, he was a troll when he was younger. Yeah, Embiid was like, he was a bit of a clown, right? But he has put the work in, right? And it is a bit unfortunate that he's gotten so close. He's played an MVP level, right? He's played so at such a high, insane level. I think he averaged like 37 points per game one season, right? And it's kind of sad. We really haven't seen Embiid play like that in a while, right? But he still has capacity. It would be interesting for LeBron to help get Philly over the hump, especially considering that they signed Jaylen Brown, who he is a scorer, right? And I think that Maxey, Brown, and Embiid, in terms of their points per game, they have the highest collective scoring. No, I think it's like 83 points per game between the three of them, right? So LeBron going there and being that playmaker, I actually do see the fit, right? Because Maxey, he's an elite off-ball player, tons of off-ball movement. He's an excellent driver as well. But I can definitely see LeBron making plays for Maxey, making plays for Edgecombe, making plays for Brown, right? Carrying a bit of the load when Embiid isn't there. You can even play LeBron at the 5 a little bit. Like, he had the capacity historically. See, that's the thing about where he is now. You don't want to push him, so you probably don't want to play him at the small ball 5 too much, but that is an option, especially when Embiid isn't there. And that's the big question mark for LeBron, right? Does he want to? Because I actually do like the fit with Philadelphia quite a bit. Looking at it, right? Now Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, Embiid. Embiid can shoot. He can drive. When he's healthy, he's a playmaking. He's a free throw drawing monster, right? Brown draws free throws. Averaged almost 30 points per game last season. I think he averaged 30 points per game last season, right? But he's not a true blue playmaker. You don't want him, pounding the rock too much. You want him coming off screens, coming off pin downs, catching shoots. He can hit the mid range stuff like that. But you don't want him like monopolizing the ball, right? Plus, I think LeBron would settle down a lot of the strong personalities in the Philadelphia locker room, right? And the fit with Maxey, the fit with Edgecombe. Edgecombe is a dog. Maxey's a dog. Jaylen Brown, he's a dog. It's just he has flaws in his game. Right? I do like the fit in Philadelphia, but you do have question marks about wanting to hitch LeBron James's final season to Joel Embiid's long-term playoff health. Right? Like, that's a huge question mark for me personally. Right? So then we have Mitchell, Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam for the Heat. So other team that LeBron played for, notably, is the Miami Heat, where he won his first championship, his first 2 championships, right? He has Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam, right? So they have Giannis, they have Bam. And Giannis going to the Heat is interesting, right? I don't think it makes the Heat like super contenders. I think that their defense could be good, especially like looking at it, where the 4-man core of Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam. You had LeBron in there as well at the 3 or at the 2. Maybe it's an interesting fit, right? Because you already have Giannis there, and Giannis and LeBron basically really do play the same position. There is historical connection for LeBron to go to Miami, but I don't like the fit whatsoever. Like, LeBron playing with Giannis and Bam, and because like Davion Mitchell is a good point guard. I feel like Davion Mitchell is kind of like one of those perfect point guards for if LeBron was in his prime and you're building a team around him, because he can shoot a little bit, he can play make a little bit, but he really is just a dog on D, right? He's one of the best defensive guards in the game, right? I don't like the fit in the Heat, but the Heat gave up a lot to get Giannis, and in theory, LeBron could like be the bulk of what they're missing, right? But the fit, like, how would a 5-man lineup of Davion Mitchell, LeBron James, Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam look? I'm not liking that. I'm liking it. I'm not loving it. LeBron can make a lot of bad lineups good, but like Bam, Giannis, and Wiggins is an all-right shooter, right? But you don't want him being your best shooter in the lineup, right? LeBron would probably be the best shooter, but LeBron plays best with shooters, right? Ant, LaMelo, McDaniels, and Gobert. So on the Timberwolves, LeBron on the Timberwolves. That's interesting, right? So Ant-Man, LaMelo Ball, Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert. I like the fit with Anthony Edwards a lot, right? The fit for Anthony Edwards and LeBron James, that's kind of one of those perfect ones. Like, if you were, Ant-Man is kind of like a modern day, he's not honest. He's not like super similar. He's similar in certain aspects to Dwayne Wade, but he just has that pristine jump shot. Right? It's almost like if Dwayne Wade had a jump shot. There are differences between their games, but it's not like that is like a rough equivalent that isn't too far off. And it would be nice to see. I think the perfect teaming for Ant-Man would either be like Scotty Barnes or Nikola Jokic, right? But LeBron James at this point, he wouldn't be the worst thing to play with Anthony Edwards, right? That'd be kind of fire. And I think that they probably could go to the conference finals with that. I don't know if they get the chip. I don't know if they win the chip with that, right? But I do like the fit between Anthony Edwards, LaMelo, Jaden McDaniels, Gobert. You add LeBron James into the middle of that. That is pretty fire. That's a good lineup right there. All right. So last but not least, right? It's actually not last. They also have Boston up there, but they only have Jason Tatum and Brad Stevens as the reasons why LeBron would go to the Celtics, which isn't. The Celtics look all right. I don't know if LeBron takes them over the hump this year. It is possible because Jason Tatum, you don't want to downplay Jason Tatum too much. He is a very talented player, right? When he's healthy. He's coming off an ACL or Achilles, one of those two. And he had a good season last year. It's still like very warranted to be cautious. But, like, you don't want to hitch LeBron James's final season on injuries, right, or injury risk. So we're going to talk about last but not least. Actually not last. There's 2 more teams. 3 more teams, but they're kind of small, right? So we're going to talk about the Nuggets. I like this fit a lot. You have LeBron James, Jamal Murray, who is that? Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic, right? So you have LeBron James essentially as he could really be your point guard in that lineup. And then you just have Jamal Murray as a 2, as the combo guard, but Jamal Murray really is he's a true blue combo guard, right? He can play make, right? But he is a shooting guard who just happens to be the same size as a point guard, right? Who can play make a little bit because he has that handle, he has a vision. He's been playing with Nikola Jokic for enough time where it's like, all right, there's levels to playmaking, and me as a guard, I gotta unlock that. I gotta learn that. There's angles to it, right? But LeBron James as the point guard, Jamal Murray at the 2, Cam Johnson at the 3, Aaron Gordon at the 4, Nikola Jokic at the 5. I like that a lot. Because Nikola Jokic, he really has it. He doesn't have a ton of guys who can actually set him up, right? Jamal Murray, he's a solid playmaker, like as I was saying, right? But his ability to set up, Nikola Jokic needs like elite entry passes. That's one of the best reasons why I enjoyed seeing him play with Russell Westbrook, right? Because say which one about Russ. He's a good passer. He'll make crazy passes, but he's a good passer, right? LeBron James is one of the best passers of all time. He understands passing like it's a science. So seeing him, oh man, the LeBron James, Nikola Jokic in the pick and roll would be disgusting. That would be disgusting, right? Like you have LeBron James setting up Aaron Gordon, that's disgusting. You have LeBron James getting clean looks to a sniper. So I think that Cam Johnson is due. He's a very elite shooter. I think that Cam Johnson is due to bounce back in a major way. If you add LeBron James to the Nuggets, I think that's a championship team. I think that they can compete with anybody, right? With the Spurs, with the OKC Thunder, with anybody in the Heat. Like I can see them competing with the Knicks, right? Because I do think even last season, I still chose the Nuggets to win the championships because I'm like, no, Nikola Jokic, he really is that good, right? Jamal Murray is a complementary piece on that level who can elevate himself when he's in rhythm, right? Cam Johnson, he's a 3-and-D kind of guy. He kind of had a down season going to a new environment, right? But he can be like that. He is a sniper like that. He is one of those guys, right? And Aaron Gordon is just a do-it-all finish, stays healthy. As long as he stays healthy, he can shoot. Because he's actually turned himself into a good shooter too, right? So there's shooting, a ton of shooting. Because like Murray, Johnson, Gordon, Jokic, they can all shoot. So you can play 5 out, right? LeBron James at this age, he can still play point guard. He still get into the paint, right? He can still make plays to everybody, right? I like LeBron in Denver a lot. I think that if he wants to win a championship in his final season, you, going to the Denver Nuggets is the best choice for LeBron James, right? I like the fit a lot. It makes sense. You play LeBron up at the point. You have Jokic second place for LeBron, mind you, as well, right? Whereas like LeBron is actually an elite cutter. I was saying it earlier. He's an elite play finisher, right? He's an elite cutter. A lot of ball dominant guys, they don't play off the ball effectively. LeBron really, he earns his flowers by being able to play off the ball so effective, right? Where he can be the receiver. He can play in transition. Like, oh, I like that fit a lot. Yeah, yeah. If LeBron doesn't choose the Denver Nuggets to win, he's not serious about winning, to be honest, right? Because the other names that are up there are Golden State Warriors, because he has Steph and Dre. You know, he has Dallas plus Masai, where he's Rich Paul underlined oil, golf, Macron. What is that? Macon? Like, what does this say? I don't even know. But like he's looking at things that are non-basketball related and taking that into account. And I'm like, all right, if LeBron goes to Dallas, like yeah, Cooper Flag is nice, and I think they still have they still have Kyrie. They might still have Clay. I think they still have Clay, but that's not a team that's anywhere close to contention where a 42-year-old LeBron can just go there and be reasonably expected to win a chip. It's not a 0% chance. Because Cooper Flag is nice. He is nice. I actually downplay Cooper Flag myself, but Cooper Flag is nice. Don't go to. I don't know. He has Spurs underlined, Knicks underlined as well, right? But he's not gonna go to the Knicks because like that would be. No one would give him credit for that ring because you're going to the championship team, right? This is why people don't give Kevin Durant credit for his rings, right? Where it's like, yeah, we knew that you could do this kind of stuff, right? But you went to the team that was already a championship level team, right? That beat you, right? So that's just weak. We don't give you credit for that. Like to this day. And honestly, it kind of ruined Kevin Durant's legacy because like aside from those rings, where those were his prime ring like getting years, right? He did those getting rings that people really don't give him credit for, right? So it doesn't make sense for LeBron's legacy to go to the previous champion and then try to like repeat with them. That's lame, right? So no Knicks. Maybe if the Knicks didn't win, then he probably would have gone to the Knicks. I was hearing that, but I like LeBron on the Nuggets a lot. I would love to see LeBron on the Nuggets. I think that's the perfect fit for LeBron. I think that would be a championship contender. It'd be a good team. Spacing, you know, they got big depth, right? They have like positional fit, positional need. It makes sense to me. So yeah, LeBron to Nuggets, and honestly, I can see that being like a 62-win team if he does go to the Nuggets, right? So, anyways, thanks so much for watching. That was my take. So have a great day. All right. So what do you think? Where do you think LeBron's gonna go? Like, where are you placing your bets? Anyways, also like hit like if you want. You don't have to, but like it doesn't hurt you, and it may help you because you're like, oh man, I like this thing. I'll get more things that I like in my feed. I'll get more things that I like in my life. All right. So all right. Peace.